up and remain standing, please? Thank you very much. You sit down, we'll come over and sit on top of you. We want everybody to participate in this celebration. Okay? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At this time, I want you to get some images of people who are suffering, people who are hurting. I want you to look at the wall of the images of people who are starving, people who are dying, children who need assistance and help, children whose bodies have withered down to just bones and skin. My God. People who are waiting for us to get a new vision and a new understanding of what we can do. But you see, we wait too long. We keep waiting, hoping somebody else will do it. We keep waiting, thinking that this is not the right time. We keep waiting, letting someone else take care of the children of the world and the starving of the world. But is this not our world? Yes. Is it not our people? Yes. Are we not a part of humanity? Then get these images and let them speak to your heart. I want them to speak to your heart, not your mind. Because if speak to your mind, we sit along and just say, well, okay, I'll think about it tomorrow. Now, I want you to feel it today. I want you to feel it today, brothers and sisters. My God, why has it taken us so long? Why, oh God? It's because the people just can't get up and walk and stand up and do for humanity. Amen. Hallelujah. Right on. Shalom. Salam. I want you to sing with me now. Leaning on the everlasting arms. What a fellowship. What a joy divine. Oh yeah. Come on, we're going to lean a little this morning on the everlasting arms. Come on. Lean.
Everlasting
Now turn around and embrace your brothers and sisters. Embrace each other. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. You may be seated. Why don't you announce this when you, okay? Yeah, you do it. Thank you very much. We're going to change this Sunday for several reasons, but that's what I love about this church. Our format is not carved and etched in stone, and so therefore we don't have to worry about, since we got so many broken stones, we don't have to worry about breaking a stone. At this time, we're going to have two people come to us, and then we're going to make a presentation, and then I'm going to preach. And the reason I'm preaching early is because I'm trying to shake you up. But anyway, now the other reason really is that Jen and I will be leaving to go to Candlestick Park. Today, the Giants organization under the leadership of Peter McGowan will be giving the first sports venue of this magnitude to help AIDS research and programs in regards to AIDS. So Bobby McFerrin's going to sing the national anthem, and I'm going to make a statement and then introduce the Giants organization, the man who heads it, Peter McGowan. I'd like to do that. 50,000 people. I've been waiting for 50,000 people. Long time. But we'll continue with the celebration. Judge Gordon Barenko, who's a member of our board, will take over. He's sitting right here. The Glide Ensemble is going to sing. The children are going to sing. They have a present. We're going to have a great time. So stay with, and we're going to take up the offering also. Jan, would you come at this time? Mariah and Susan, would you come? We very seldom give honor and show our gratitude to members of the Glide Ensemble individually. Today, we're doing such an event. Mariah and Susan are we're letting them know how much we love them and how much we need them and how much we will continue to need them. And we'll continue to do this with other members. But Mariah and Susan. Janice?
Mariah and Susan presented a statement to us, which I want to just excerpt and read to you for just a moment. Mariah Holland moved to San Francisco in 1983, and she started to attend Glide regularly in 1988 from an Easter Sunday morning. She had attended Al-Anon meetings for 7 years and had been in 2 years of therapy to heal from the effects of child sexual abuse. Glide seemed like the perfect place to work on the spiritual part of my recovery, she says. I love the diversity and the music and Cecil's message of inclusion. As I look back on my 6 years, Mariah says, here at the church and in the ensemble, there is so much to be grateful for. The excellent and lasting friendships, the feeling of security and family from all the aunts and uncles that have adopted my children. I truly cannot find the words to describe what Cecil and Jan have both given me in their guidance and direction for healing from child sexual abuse. Although I have 3 children on my own without benefit of marriage, and that is incredibly hard and not a path that I would recommend, I feel blessed to have this diverse family around me, supporting my mothering, Joyce, and all of the aunts and uncles from the Glide extended family. The spiritual benefits of singing these beautiful gospel songs every week and hearing Cecil's encouraging and uplifting words are incalculable. I'm growing from a spiritually dead and dark ex-Catholic into a loving, graceful child of God who prays with the faith that God will hear me and heal me in His time. Mariah Holland. This is a statement from Suzanne Delk. I'm a 48-year-old gay woman. I came to California in 1974 with 6 sons, 9 suitcases, and $500. I was running from an abusive marriage. I set goals, and whatever came my way, says Suzanne, I recovered from, overcame, and kept on going. My oldest son is now in prison, serving 33 years to life for accessory to murder. I have 3 sons who are homeless and on drugs. The others who are here, I wanted to be taught the true meaning of God, and that is love. Love for all people, that bone love that Cecil talks about. Cecil, you speak so much of the truth that I can't hold my peace on Sundays. I love ministering in song and being a part of the Glide family. I've been part of the Glide Ensemble since 1987. Cecil, you are growing spiritually every day. Says Suzanne, and I thank God for a preacher-teacher like you, and we thank God for Suzanne and Mariah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of you, I've been preaching for the last 4 weeks on Broken Rocks, and made the statement, quoting from a beautiful story, that I felt like it was one of the most radical statements in the Old and New Testament, where Jesus says to the woman who had been accused of adultery and the people who had gathered around her, let anyone among you who is without sin throw the first stone. This church is built on broken stones, and therefore the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. But some of you have helped me along. One of the staff members gave me a lot of stones to carry in my pocket, so I've been carrying stones in my pocket, little rocks like that, you know. Some of you sent me a card that talk about stones. I want to thank you for that. Some of you even had the gall to send me some funny papers about stones, and I love that. I'll talk about that sometime. I feel like I'm just kind of stoned at this time. Stoned with love. Stoned with compassion. See, those who use drugs know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that kind of stone. I don't need no artificial stoning. What I want to do today is talk to you about how we can respond to severe hurt, and how we as a people need not wait to move, no matter where we are I think we need to be more global in what we look at and see and respond to. I think we ought not just be local or parochial or just for us and nobody else. Whatever we do has to go beyond those things that we would even imagine could happen in this world at this time. I think the crisis that we confront at this time is one of how we can get up and make a stand and make life livable and lovable for all people. I think it's time for us to know that people are hurting. I mean, really hurting. I would say that anytime we come up on people with hurt, no matter who they are, where they are, we must be able to stop what we're doing, stop where we are, and listen to them. Just stop. One writer says that what we should do is have an obligation to listen to them. I don't want to just be obligated. I want to stop. That's a brother and a sister. That's a human being. That's somebody that got the same stuff I got. They may be different, but they got the same stuff that I got. The stuff of life, bones and heart and soul and mind and body and blood and skin and flesh and spirit and a sense of what it really means to live in the world in which we find ourselves. So we got to stop where we are, wherever there's hurt. But also in stopping, we must, where people are hurting, we must listen intently to them and intensively to them. I think the important thing is we must stop, listen, and then we take action. Too many times after we listen, we go and create a discussion group about what we've listened to, rather than just saying, my brothers and my sisters, I'm going on because I can't put up with this any longer. It's too close to me. I feel it too much. I can't stand it any longer. I got to do something with that which I perceive, which I feel, which I see. I can't let people keep dying and not do something about the dying when I know I can do something at this time in my life. We need to respond and make a difference when we respond. Don't just do the regular thing. You know, here I talk about making a difference. This church is different. This minister is different. You are different. You are the most different group of people I've ever seen in my life on a Sunday morning. So therefore, you make a difference because you're different. You go back to your own communities and back to your own homes, those of you that have homes. And those of you that don't, you stand on the street or stand in line. You make a difference of what you say and do when you're there with people. Wherever there's human contact, you make a difference. Know this, that you got to do something about rectifying the situation. We must take seriously then, when people say they're hurting, we must take seriously the accuracy of what they're saying. They're telling the truth as much as they can. Some got more truth to it than others, but there is some accuracy to people when they say, I'm hurting and here's where I'm hurting and I don't know what to do about it, and I came to you. You're one of the first people that I came to about my hurt. We must make sure that we understand that they're trying to say in clear terms where their hurt is. There are a lot of folks who find it difficult to even talk about hurt, and when they do, they find it difficult to be accurate about it. So therefore, listen to the truth sometimes in the stories that are told. But the other thing is this. We got to also listen to the hustling that takes place. Because there are folks who hustle when they tell their stories and don't even know they're hustling. You know, there are folks who say, yeah, I'm down and out. I've been down and out. You know, some folks are just down and out. Some folks been down and out all their lives. just down and out, you know. Just people, I'm going to tell you something. You can get used to being down and out. In fact, you can even act like you're down and out when you're not down and out. You got to watch the hustling thing about one's life, you know. To be very careful about hustling. Finally, just let me say then that what we must deal with then is that there's always truth when people are hurting. There's always something there about the truth of all of our experiences. Pain is very awful. Now, if you're going to deal with what I'm talking about, then there's a way you approach it. The approach is always to come from the bottom up, always from the, what some writers call the historical bottom. Go where the people really are and listen to the cries of the people. Proceed from the underside of people. The underside. Don't go and stand on their heads saying, what's wrong with you? You know, don't go standing on their backs. How can I get up if you on my back? And some of us got some pretty weak backs. But anyway, you know, don't stand on people. Go and get down where they are. And when their faces are down and their bodies are still, get down where they are and listen to those silent murmurs and those silent moans and that silent whining and crying and need. Listen to the silence. I saw a man the other day get down on the ground with one of those children, and he stayed down there and finally said, the child is not dead, and picked up that child and took that child around with him. And that afternoon the child's eyes were open and the man was rejoicing, and the next day that child was still alive. You see, you gotta get way down on the underside of people and listen. That's one thing. The other thing, though, and here's the thing that validates me. You not only listen to the underside of people, so we've tried to do with our young people, listen to the underside. But what we've got to do is we've got to know that it's not enough just to listen. You got to be able to engage the problem. You got to be able to confront the problem. You got to get up and get about something. You got to lift yourself up and lift the child up and lift the world up and lift humanity up and lift up all of the hurt and the anger and walk with it. Go on with it. Stop standing still, shaking your head. Go on with it. Our problem is simply this. We're afraid. Most folks I know are embedded with fear. Well, I can't right now. When you see people wring their hands, you know, I can't, let me think about this. I got give me a little time. Anytime somebody tells me give them a little time, I say to them, take your time. I don't want it no more. Because what they're really doing is saying, I ain't going to do it anyway. I had a man tell me that. He said, Cecil, when they tell you to wait and come back, they ain't going to do nothing with you, man. I want you to hear this. What we've got to do is understand that we're laden with fear. The fiber of our lives are with fear. We've got all kinds of fears. Afraid to open our eyes. Afraid to open our arms. Afraid to reach out. Afraid to be with other folks. Afraid to not have to have a meeting. We want to meet all the time. Let me meet with y'all so we can get together. Let's get together so we can reach out. Now, we ought to just sometimes just go on, walk on out and start reaching. And say to people, I love you. I need you. If you say to people, I love you, you don't know how you could stir up the tenderloin if you just walk down the street saying, I love you. I love you. You ought to see some of the folks running. They're running because they don't want no love, some of them. And some of them will come towards you and say, where is the love? I love you. See, the reason we're afraid is that, here it is, two things. We're afraid to change. But you know why we're afraid to change? Because we don't want to take a risk. We're afraid to walk. You know, somebody's always saying to me, open up your eyes. Well, sometimes I can't open my eyes. And even when I do, I can't see.
All right now, I know that.
You see? Our problem is that we don't want to risk because we're afraid that if we risk, what happens? We're going to give up something. You are. I am. If you're really going to risk, you got to give up something. See, I think our problem is that we don't want to give up our old ways. Can I try that one more time? I said, all right, I'll put it another way. I'll make it even a little easier for you. We don't want to go back to our ways unless we have to. And we're afraid we'll have to. Some of us keep going back. Some of us say, ooh, that's too much for me right now. Have you ever said that? That's too much for me right now. I'll get you later on. Have you ever walked around it? You know it's there to take care of, and you just walk on around it. And when you walk around it, look at it and say, okay, I'll get back to you. No. There comes a time where you know it's there, and you got to say, I'm going to walk on through you. I'm going to walk on through you because I can change when I walk through you. I can be strong when I can be courageous when I walk through you. It is time for us to have courage. Time for us to have courage. Where's your courage? It is. Somebody asked me a few minutes ago, said, what makes you do what you do? I don't know sometimes, but I do know this. I know this, that I am a part of a group called the church, called the extended family. I'm a part of people that are broken stones, and I bring my own brokenness there. And when I do, we all can rejoice together, because once what we were, some of us are not no more. And some of us who are not there and need to go on will be coming on soon. But one thing about it, you don't have to get stuck here. God is a church that won't put up with you being stuck with your life. You got to come up and get out and go on with your life. There's a beautiful story in John where a woman goes to the well and she's there dipping water, and Jesus comes along, and the two of them are the only ones there. The disciples, the folks who went around with Jesus, had gone downtown shopping. They went down to Macy's and the Gap and anybody else want to put in something? But anyway, Woolworth. Anyway, they went shopping. Decided they'd stop by Glide to get a noon meal while they were downtown. Found that they served chicken on Thursdays and said, Lord have mercy, we've never had fried chicken like this. This is soul food. Cornbread and chicken and black-eyed peas. Look here. Yeah. Lord have mercy, I tell you. You can see why I'm back. I had to come back so I could see this, I tell you. And so while she's there and Jesus is there, she dips down and he says to her, give me a drink of your water. And she said, but wait, I'm from Samaria. I'm a Samaritan. You're not supposed to be asking me. You're a Jew. You're not. He says, I want a drink of your water. Breaking the barriers. Going on doing things. And Jesus says, I want it. And she said, well, I tell you what, I'm a little baffled and I'm not sure about this. Well, Jesus says, well, let me make you sure. I'm asking you for a drink of water because I want you to know that when you dip in the well, it means that you are dipping into your life where your ground is. You're going way down. And when you bring it up, it's living waters. I want to give you some living water this morning. It's called spiritual. It's called spirit. I want to give you some living waters of the spirit. And I want you to drink deeply from your well. Yes. From your well. See, too many times we're always going to somebody else's well. I want to bring you to your own well this morning, so you can dig deeply into your well. Because if you dig deeply into your well, you will be consumed by the Spirit, and the Spirit will lift you up, and you'll have living waters the rest of your life, and you won't be thirsty no more. You'll know where to go to the well to dip down and get your water, and you'll know that that water replenishes your life. It clears up your nostrils and your head. It clears up your stomach and your throat. It gives you some vibrance and some energy, and it gives you some time so you can say, here I am. I'm a living example of what it means to change. Amos in the Old Testament talks about how so many times trouble takes place. He says, I despise your feasts because you're much more religious than you ought be. And I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. You're too dull and dry when you come together. You're too solemn. You don't clap sometimes. If you get moved, then you fight yourself about getting moved and say, Lord, don't move me. I'm here with these other unmovable people. And even though you offer me your burnt offerings and cereal offerings, I will not accept them. And the peace offerings of your fatted beasts I will not look upon. Take away from me the noise of your songs. Some songs are so noisy. It's because the people are performing rather than living what they see and experience, and they are not gripped by the Spirit. Thank God the Spirit keeps going in and out and goes all around us and lifts us up, and sometimes we can't contain ourselves. Sometimes the song goes beyond anything I've ever heard. It lifts me up and it lifts you up, and you say, give me more. You want more Spirit. But Amos says, but let justice roll down. Let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an everlasting stream. My brothers and my sisters, when you come to Glide, we want you to be filled with the living waters. We want you to know that you can have justice here and righteousness. Oh, we're going to make some mistakes. Yeah, I'm just like you, and you just like me. I ain't no better, and sometimes I'm not no worse. But anyway, I want you to know that here is people and justice and righteousness, and more than anything else, the living waters come. May the Spirit be with you until we come to our wells again and take a drink. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. Gordon. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Glide Ensemble. Thank you, people. We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Well, good morning, everybody. Can you imagine what Cecil's going to do to 55,000 people this afternoon? right now, before we have the offering, before we hear some music from the Glide Ensemble, and I think it's probably better if the ensemble is seated because some people are going to make some presentations right now, so you don't get mad at me. We have a couple of statements that people want to share with you, and Colin Johnson is a member of the Glide community, and Colin has a statement that he would like to share with you this morning. Colin, if you'd come forward, please. Is this good enough for you? Okay, man.
Good morning. My name is Colin Johnson. I'm the teen coordinator for Glide's youth outreach program. And I was asked to come speak this morning about my experience with working with these kids during the summer. I'm a prospective college student. I'll be leaving next week for college. My experience at Glide is more than just the day-to-day activities these kids go through. It is a feeling and a experiencing of their change and evolution into manhood, womanhood, and whatnot. They have they have become part of the workforce, proud of who they are, confident, and understanding that they can handle their own problems without going back to the street, which, fighting and cussing, you know how it goes. They have come to Glide willing to risk and wanting to change because they felt the power of Glide. Glide is that window for change. They feel the power within Glide and understand that they want to be a part of this. They want to come out and say, I'm ready to live my life. Get away from all the bad things that might have happened with their family, not having a family, whatnot. They understand this is a family. And they're welcome and they know that. And that's why they're here. I'd like to introduce my kids too. Like each one come up and say their name right quick,
Dylan Buchanan. Leon Smith.
O'Brien Buchanan. Kenneth Chappelle. Lano Paul.
Belinda Ray. Johnny King.
Connie.
James Fairbanks. George Brooks.
How important it is for us to affirm our children. Tiara, you have a statement that you want to share with us, and Tiara is also a young person who's very active in the Glide community. I want you to take your time and relax, and we love you very much. All right? I want you to speak into the microphone. Take your time.
Joyce asked us to write a letter to Cecil and Jan telling them how we feel about Rwanda. Dear Cecil and Jan, it really hurts me to see the children in Rwanda. It really hurts me to see how the children in Rwanda are dying because of the adults. Sometimes I think of all that I have and how lucky I am to have my mommy and my Glide family. If I could, I would give some of my toys and clothes to these children who have nothing. I only hope the war will stop and the children can go back home where they belong. Sincerely, Tiara. We will be collecting money to give to the children in Rwanda. Please give what you can to help. Thank you.
Very good. And give me a hug. Thank you, Tiara. You're going to have the opportunity to contribute to children in Rwanda at the conclusion of the celebration downstairs in Freedom Hall. It's my understanding, Joyce, that now the children are all going to sing a song for us. All of you would come forward. think we need to acknowledge and affirm our children one more time. I also, before they leave, I want to say two things. Joyce and Ron work with these children daily. Joyce and Ron, if you'd stand up and so people can acknowledge you. Well, now comes the time for the celebration, and here at Glide, we only do this once during the celebration. It's a time to take up the offering. There are a number of programs here at Glide, and I won't recite the litany of programs except that I want to assure you and tell you that every penny contributed to Glide, at Glide, goes directly to services for the people who we need to serve. Glide serves meals daily. We have recovery programs for each one of us who is in some type of recovery. And most important, it supports the kinds of programs that make us take responsibility for ourselves, help us to help ourselves. So at this time, the ushers are going to come forward with the bags. Make out your checks to Glide Church. Today is July 31st, 1994. You can sign your name, and if you're tired at that point, we'll fill in the rest for you. Please give freely. And the ushers can come forward now. Let me make a couple of announcements while the ushers are taking up the offering, but I don't want to distract you from that business. The first announcement wasn't planned. Apparently someone has a bicycle on the stairway, and it has to be removed. Apparently it's locked to the stairway. So I hope I don't see 5 or 6 people leave right now, but somebody here who rode a bike, we need you to remove the bike so that people don't have any accidents. At the conclusion of the celebration, we'd like to invite everyone to come down to Freedom Hall. We have CDs, we have tapes of the celebration of the Glide Ensemble. We have videotapes now. We have books by Janice, books by Cecil, books by the children, books by people who are survivors of incest and other people in recovery. Additionally, you can sign up to volunteer in any one of a number of the Glide programs that we have here. We don't ask you to come here every day, but I'm sure there is something that we do here where you will feel that you can be included. All those sign-ups will be downstairs in Freedom Hall. The last thing that I want to mention, having told you that we only have one offering at Glide, you heard what the children were saying to us this morning, and Tiara in particular was talking about the crisis in Rwanda. If you recall at the beginning of the celebration, the pictures and slides that we saw, and those of course are not doctored, those are the real thing. The children are going to be downstairs in Freedom Hall at the conclusion of this celebration with the collection boxes. Joyce can... This is what the collection box will look like. Please give as freely as you can. Jan handed me a slip of paper to inform me that at the 9 o'clock celebration, the people at the 9 o'clock celebration gave over $300 to the Rwandan effort. And it's never our business to promote competition, but I want to tell you there are more people here at 11 o'clock than there were at the 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for coming to Glide. The Glide Ensemble, so you will not be disappointed, is going to grace us with a number of songs. I will address you again briefly, and then we will be dismissed. But at this time, and I worry about doing this while we're taking up the collection, but at this time, I want to introduce to you the Glide Ensemble.
Giving a message to tell you when the world's on fire. I'm telling you now, there's no escape. 'Cause there's nowhere to run. And there's nowhere to hide. It's getting late in the evening. Look like the sun is almost down. Ready or not, he's coming. Decision is yours, lost or found. 'Cause there's nowhere to run. And there's nowhere to hide. Where you gonna run? Cinnamon, where you gonna hide? Where you gonna run? Cinnamon, oh, where you gonna run? No, 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 no. You can run to the mountains. Cinnamon, we can run, cinnamon. We can hide, cinnamon. We can run, cinnamon. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can run to the mountains. You can run for yourself. You can hide from the mirror, but the image will be clever. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can hide. You can run. No, you can't hide.
He can save a sin sick soul. He can make your body whole. He's already done just what he said. He healed the sick and he even raised the dead. He can make your body whole. He'll turn darkness into light. He'll make everything come out all right. It is no secret what my God can do. If you take one step, I know that he will make two. He'll turn
lifted hill. I was sad, Jesus made me glad. He proved in time, he's a friend of mine. You ask me how I know why Christ loved me so. On Calvary, he died for you and me. He paid the price, gave his life. He was crucified for all he gave. I've been saved today, for I was lost in sin, and Jesus took me in. That's when he saved my soul, and then he made me whole, and then he washed my sins and gave me peace with him. I got the victory, 'cause now I'm free, and I'm not ashamed to say I've been born again. Ooh, I've been born again. There is no doubt the Lord has brought me out of sin. I've been born again. That's when he saved my soul, and then he made me whole, and then he washed my sins and gave me peace with him. I got the victory, 'cause now I'm free, and I'm not ashamed to say I've been born again. Ooh, I've been born again. I must confess that I've been truly blessed. Oh yes, I've been born again. Said I've been born again. Saved my soul and he made me whole, and I've been born again. Wrote my name in the sea of love, and I've been born again. There's no doubt that he brought me out, and I've been born again. I must confess that I've been blessed, and I've been born again. I love the Lord, he heard my cry, and I've been born again. See my Savior by and by, Lord, I've been born again. I've been born again. Lord, said I've been born, said I've been born, 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 I've been born again. I've been born again. I've been born again. Lord, the Lord, he heard my cry. See my Savior by and by. I've been born again. I've been born again.
The Glide Ensemble, stay right here. We need the soloist. Soloist, come up. And Ron on the piano. Once again, for the soloist, Ron, the soloist, the Glide Ensemble. I hear you over there. The Glide Band under the direction of John Turk. John, I always have to say this when I have the opportunity. You know, John plays the keyboards with his left hand and the trumpet with his right hand. Anybody notice that? And because we're so efficient this morning, we got one more song from the Glide Ensemble.
is a day, a day you wanna glorify the Lord. He keeps on blessing me. Every day He's blessing me. Yes, He is. He'll open the door so you can see. He keeps on. Hallelujah, hallelujah. He keeps on blessing me over and over. Yes, He is. You wanna take some time? Oh, give Him the glory. Oh, give Him the praise. Glorify Him today. He keeps on blessing me. I say, God Almighty, He's blessing. Yes, He is. He'll open that door so you can see. He keeps on. Hallelujah, hallelujah. He keeps on blessing me. I say, God Almighty, He's blessing. Yes, He is. You wanna take some time to give Him the glory. You know He's been so good to me. Glorify Him today. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You know He's been so good to me. You know He set my spirit free. I got a new heart. I got a new tongue. He put running in my feet, clapping in my hands. Not my father, not my sister. He's been good. He's been mighty.
Anybody been to church today? Yes, sir. Let me just make a couple of very brief announcements before we end. And you can remain standing. You can remain standing. First announcement is thank you so much for coming this week. We want you to come back again and again and again. Secondly, for those of you who want to become very active in the glide,